everybody and welcome back to my channel. I hope you're having a fantastic day so far. Hope today has been treating you well. In today's video, as you can see from the title down below, I am going to be talking you through all of the Cosmic Brushes eyeshadow palettes that I own, which isn't all of them. I think there's a couple that I still need to get, but out of the ones that I own, I'm going to be going through all of them and I'm going to be ranking them. I'm going to start from my least favourite to my most favourite eyeshadow palette, and I will start by saying that this is just my opinion. This is just me deciding which colour stories work for the way that I like to do my makeup, which as you can see is quite bright, quite bold, quite glam. This is just like an everyday sort of a look for me, truly. I love wearing colour, I love wearing bright colours. This is Cosmic Brushes / Cosmic Beauty, and if you want to see this whole eye look, I will leave that video linked because that will have gone up a couple of days ago, I think. But this is all of the palettes that I own ranked, and I would love to know down below if any of these are like in the same order as what you would choose. If you have all of these palettes, or if you are just looking at these palettes, which one you think would be your favourite. I would love to know what you think of all of these down below. But I will say, none of these palettes are bad. None of them are bad quality. The mattes are beautiful. They are so pigmented, but also really, really easy to blend. I find them very, very sort of user-friendly. And the shimmers are out of this world. Beautiful. They really work so incredibly well. The duochromes, the multichromes, absolutely phenomenal quality. You really can't fault the quality, so it does just come down to the colour story, and that's sort of what we're going to be focusing on today, because like I say, the quality for all of them is the same. The quality for all of them is absolutely 10 out of 10. They have fast become my favourite brand for eyeshadow palettes. I just think I can't fault them. They really, really are beautiful. So like I say, we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, we've got 6 eyeshadow palettes. But before we get into the, I promise I'm getting to the point, but before we get into the eyeshadow palettes, I just have to mention this. This is the Cosmic Brushes Frosting Highlighter Trio. If you have even a very, very small eyeshadow palette collection, whether that's Cosmic Brushes or otherwise, just other brands, this will fit into your eyeshadow collection so perfectly. If I open this up, you can see it's got 3 different shades, and I don't use these on the face. It's a highlighter palette. These pans are absolutely huge. I will never ever run out of these shades. They are beautiful. I don't use these on the face, like I say, but on the eyes, these are the most beautiful reflective duochrome formula that will just fit into any eye look. Just add a little pop of something. I feel like everybody will benefit from having this in their collection, because it's almost like it just adds a little bit of something. And as you can see, I like adding a little bit of something. So I highly, highly recommend this. I'm not putting it into this ranking because it's obviously not an eyeshadow palette, it's a highlight palette. But I think that this is absolutely beautiful. One of my lovely subscribers sent me this, and I am eternally grateful because it's one of my most used. Because I just reach for it on an everyday, just to tap a little something over the lid with literally any eye look. I absolutely love it. So starting at, how many did we say I had here? 1, 2, 3, 4. Starting at number 6 is the Gothic palette. I will say, although this is ranking the lowest, I love that this is smaller. I love that this is a 12 pan palette compared to the other ones that are 20. This feels more interesting to me. I don't know what it is. It's probably because the other ones are all like exactly the same size. This one just feels special because it's smaller. I really, really love the size of this palette. I don't know, there's just something about the size of it, like it's so cute and so dinky. It feels more travel friendly, which, I mean, I am not traveling anywhere, but I just love the size of this. The reason that this is ranking lower is because is just purples, and I don't mean that in a bad way because I love purple. I absolutely love a purple eye look. I feel like anybody can wear purple. Purple can feel very neutral and wearable. Like there's even shades in here where I think you could just pack like lace all over the lid, or Immortal. You could just pack those across the lid and they would be so neutral, monotone sort of purples that nobody would look at you and even think you had purple on your lid. I feel like it's still sort of like an earthy tone, but you can also go quite bright and quite glam and quite a lot with it. Like I say, we've got brights, we've got darker tones. The one thing that I do wish is that there were maybe just like one of these other shimmers, like either Nocturnal or Powerful, I wish was more of a lighter purple shimmer, because we haven't got a light purple true shimmer. Obscure is a duochrome, so it goes from white to like a pinky purple, and then Pale Moon is more like a nudie shade, which is more like pinky browny nude tones. So I would think this would benefit from having a purple, like a lilac-y, a light purple shimmer in it. Obviously, if you have a deeper skin tone, the shimmers that are in here are going to still be that like highlighted sort of effect because the shimmers are deeper, but I absolutely love the idea of having a smaller palette in the formula that I love, but that is just focused around one colour story. I definitely think I would like to see one of these in like greens. I would like to see these, I was going to say in oranges, but I feel like that's probably where Neutral comes in. So this is ranking lowest, but only because I like the other ones better. But this is not bad. It's not bad at all. Then next up, we have got Cool Trolls, which is the bluey shades that I have on my eyes today. This is ranking lower because I like warm tones and I like bright, colourful makeup. So this is ranking lower because it's obviously a cool toned eyeshadow palette. That's literally the point of it. I feel like for a lot of people who like cool toned makeup, who like that dark, grungy, glam makeup, this would absolutely be ranked like right at the very top. It's not my colour story. It's not the colour story that I'm going to reach for on an everyday basis. I feel like I really enjoy the look that I have created with this today because it's got that pop of a warmer yellow, which again we will get to. We'll get to it, but I feel like out of all of the like larger palettes, and if I just hold that up, you can see the size difference between Gothic and Cool Trolls. So Gothic is about, it's just over half the size, with having obviously 20 shades of like blue and cool tones and greys and things like that. It's just not where I live. It's just not where I get a lot of inspiration from. It's not where I go it's just not my colour story, and that's obviously, it's my opinion, so I'm allowed to have it, but for that reason that's why it's ranked lower down. Obviously the quality, I've already said it, but the quality is absolutely fantastic, and I feel like now I've had more time to play with it, it has sort of grown on me more. Some of the shimmers are like definite everyday shimmers, but I do like to put them on with a warmer shade, so for that reason I do have to like dip into a different palette. Then next up is Winter Wonderland. When I first tested this, I was absolutely, and still am, absolutely head over heels in love with this palette. If you would like to see a 3 looks with Winter Wonderland when this like relaunches, I think that they are restocking this. I think they said that they were restocking the ones that are out of stock in like September time. So if you would like to see a 3 looks with Winter Wonderland, be sure to let me know. I am more than happy to do that. You have your purples, you have like tealy, turquoisey greens, and you've got blues. This is definitely more versatile in my opinion than Cool Trolls. Like I say, for the way that I like to do my makeup, I like to have brighter tones, and there are definitely brighter colours in this palette. If I show you this close up, you might be able to see like the shimmer. This is definitely just an everyday packet on the lid. It's a beautiful, beautiful multi-chrome, and that's called Atmosphere. It goes from like a teal to a purple. It's beautiful. I love purple, but I also love teal. Like, teal is my favourite colour to like wear in clothes. If I could paint my whole house teal, I would do that. I don't know if my husband would agree, but I would do that. I absolutely love it. It's just so rich, and like the jewel tones, you've definitely got some of them in here with like the bright blues. You've got the deep purples, but you've also got like really great lilac shades. I feel like this goes from lighter, more like pastel tones, definitely into those deeper jewel tones, the deeper smoky tones. You can just whack a matte all over the lid, and I do that just for an everyday basis with like calm or peaceful. Like, there's so many shades in this that I would just call an everyday wash of colour. It's definitely more of a colourful, cool toned palette, so that's why that one's ranking above Cool Trolls. It's not one, it's still cool toned though. It's still obviously those blues and those greens and those purples, but they are more of the cooler side of it. So like the purples are more blue toned rather than pinky toned, and we'll get into that. But next up is Nude Trolls. And this is the one that I'm wearing like across the centre of the lid. This is all of the shimmers that I have on my eye look today. Like I say, this whole look I will leave linked. So this is Cool Trolls and Nude Trolls. If you want to see a 3 looks with Nude Trolls, I have done that as well. I've also done like first impression swatching all of it, deep diving into this one. Out of Cool Trolls and Nude Trolls, this is definitely by far my most worn. This is the one that I reach for just for an everyday wash of something across the lid that is a warmer, summery, rich, sunsetty sort of a vibe. This is the one that I'm reaching for. You've got greens, you've got purples, but you've also got like the yellow, the mustard, the gold, and the 2 rows at the top that are basically just any brown that you could possibly ever need. Again, duochromes, absolutely out of this world duochromes. I would say that my favourite shade out of this one is Luxe. It goes from like a lime green to a gold to like a warm sort of bronzy. It's absolutely phenomenal. Absolutely phenomenal. And I do feel like where this one is almost, I feel like this one is sort of lighter. I feel like there's more tones that I could use in this as like a crease sort of a colour. Bright in a corner, obviously, but you have still got like darker browns, and is that like a true black or is it, I'm not sure, but like a really, really dark shade to like properly deepen something up. It's got everything that I could ever need for a neutral eye look. These warm tones, I feel like if you've got blue eyes, these warm tones just complement your eyes so beautifully, really make the colour pop. So that's coming in at number 3. Then, what do you think is going to be my favourite? Because I was, before I started filming this, I was like, it could be this one or it could be this one. Like, they were so close. I would take either of these in a heartbeat. Both of these are absolutely top tier if you like bright, colourful makeup. But coming in at number 2, we have got Serenity. It was so hard to choose. Honestly, I look at Serenity and I just think It brings me so much joy. These colours are absolutely beautiful. Again, if you'd like to see a 3 looks with Serenity or the next one that I'm going to talk about, absolutely let me know down below, because I'm more than happy to do 3 looks with. I use these colours so often. For me, this one feels more like spring. This one feels more like the start of the season, if that makes any sort of sense. It's not, there are like bright in your face, like not neon, but like white based pastel-y tones, like the blue down here, Echo or Sorbet or Oasis. There are tones that are bright, but most of the palette is more muted. Most of the palette is more sort of dialed down. You've definitely got, again, the beautiful jewel tones that I love. The shimmers are, I mean, the shimmers are beautiful, but in the next palette that I'm going to talk about, I feel like the duochromes are more impressive. The duochrome that I love the most in this one is Ether, because it's like that lilac to blue shift. And again, these tones just work. You can go so deep, you can go so dark. Again, we've got a black, but you've also got a really dark green, you've got a really dark blue. You've got so many different tones, so much variety just in one palette. So like I was saying about the Gothic palette where it's just purple, and I don't mean that in a bad way, because I love purple, but like in this you've got purple, but you've also got green, and you've also got blue, and you've also got like a really bright coral. Like there's just more scope. Like I feel like I could create a look with Gothic, but I could also create it with Serenity, but you could also create like a completely different like green look with Serenity. So I just feel like it has more variety in it. Obviously, if you're only interested in purple, like go for Gothic, you'll love it. If you're only interested in purple makeup, Gothic is your gal. But this one, I feel like you can do your purples, but you can also do your lime green. And that brings me a hell of a lot of joy. And then in the top spot, we're finally made it to the top spot, and I haven't completely lost my voice yet. I will, however, just have a little Coca-Cola break. So the top spot, she's Delicious Delights. This is the first palette that I ever tried from Cosmic Brushes, and honestly that was only like 5 months ago. I'm still fairly new to the brand. Again, if you'd like to see a 3 looks with the Delicious Delights palette, say less. I'm probably going to do it anyway. If you want to see it, subscribe. You don't even have to tell me to do it. I'm going to do it. This, she brings me so much joy. She is bright. She is colourful. She has every colour in the mattes. But also, I feel like for me, Delicious Delights has the shimmers and the duochromes that I can just use. Where Serenity, a lot of the shimmers are darker, which is fine. For me, Delicious Delights has the shimmers that are lighter, that are brighter, that are more punchy, that I feel like works for my makeup aesthetic, if that makes any sort of sense. I love Sprinkles, but she's quite dark. She is like a hot pink and like basically all of the colours of the rainbow in one duochrome shade. It's, I've just dropped them all on the floor. Please don't be broken. Please don't be broken. Please don't be broken. No, I think we're okay. I think we're okay. Let me just push those further onto the table. Delicious Delights. She has more shimmers that I can use for an everyday look, but also more shimmers that I feel like are that pop that I can just use like across the lid, that I feel like I can use in more ways. So we've got like Fizzy, which is a light pastel-y green. We've got Candy Floss, which is like a bright pink, but it's light enough that for my skin tone it's not too dark like all over the lid, because I like something that's quite bright. Then Frosting I would actually say that Frosting is probably my favourite shade because it's a purple, it's like a lilac-y shade, but it has almost like a golden warm undertone to it. Absolutely beautiful, delicious for like a white to bluey sort of duochrome shift from the inner corner. But again, I think they actually sell these as a bundle. Delicious Delights and Frosting. These go together. I mean, like, the packaging is similar tone, so I feel like they definitely go together. Delicious Delights just has my whole heart, honestly. I could just have this in my collection. And what I was saying about the purples, Jelly Bean is like a warm, plummy purple tone that, again, I feel like complements Blue Eyes so beautifully. There's just something about this palette. There's just something about it that makes me smile. There's something about it that just brings me so much joy. She is my favourite. And also, if you want a white, bright inner corner that's matte, this has got it. Whipped Cream. This has got it. Beautiful to have a matte inner corner. I mean, obviously I like a shimmery inner corner, but that, and then with one of these tapped over the top, you're on to an absolute winner. So out of all of the palettes, if you like bright, colourful makeup, Delicious Delights is your gal, okay? But, I mean, obviously everybody's makeup preferences are different. You might look at Delicious Delights and think that is so out of my comfort zone, but for me that just brings me joy. So I would love to know, do you agree? Do you disagree? Please be polite. If you don't agree, I would love to hear what your thoughts are on all of these palettes down below. This is just my order, but I would love to know what you think down below. If you like this video, please give it a big thumbs up. But until next time, thank you ever so much for watching. Bye.